is still being bombarded from orbit. I wonder if we can do something about that.
Hello everyone, it's DA here, and today we're going to be discussing the TENNO Interceptor's confirmed uses and the different possibilities within the game. If you were wondering, the TENNO Interceptor is the giant ship that was used in the Railjack demo at TennoCon 2018. It was an immersive team-based ship that requires player involvement just like FTL, but still holds on to the things we love the most about Warframe. The Interceptor, as seen at TennoCon 2018, is a ship that basically needs a front gunner / pilot, a left gunner, a right gunner, a tactician with the ability to reroute power where it is needed, maybe through the thrusters, to the shields, or to the guns, and of course you need someone who is able to manage essential ship controls, and of course it needs an engineer to supervise the boarding locations in multiple infiltration teams if possible. Now, as you can see, this easily can be a 6 to an 8-man cruise ship. This is why we are going to be having this discussion today. Through information gathered from different interviews from DE devs with multiple media outlets and different YouTubers, DES confirmed that they are working on multiple uses for the Interceptor in general. They want to make sure that it is not just one of those things that is tied to a specific game mode or a specific location, and once you've done several hours of that game mode, like a lot of us in Warframe, will leave it behind, and they want to make sure that the Interceptor is not going to be one of those things that we end up leaving behind. This, in my opinion, will easily become the small hub for public matches, a place where each person will dock before embarking on each mission if possible. There have also been other people who believe that this is going to be a way of DE hiding their loading screen, but if you watch my TennoCon reviews and the podcast as well with the Tenno Diaries team, we talked a lot about the multiple applications of this as well. So this is not just, me picking up content from someone or anything like that. This is actually one of the things that we talked about few hours into that TennoCon event. Now, this is also why DE is going to take longer to release this game mode, because it needs a lot of work. They're going to try to tie in several content around it and make it actually useful. The three reasons that I'm thinking in my head will be the large space battles or fights with larger bosses. We're going to have the second one, which will be the new cinematic quest, which is going to be the new war. And the third one will be, of course, nothing other than a Corpus raid, which is probably in the works. When we examine the larger bosses, we have the Fomorian events, which is possibly going to be reworked very soon. And while a lot of us love the Fomorian events for the loot drops and what it brings to the table, it is also very easy and very short. The chances are that DE will increase the quality of rewards and make it a little bit more than just a run in run out game mode. The fact is that the Interceptor can take down a Corpus cruiser, and that means that it can be quite useful against the Grineer Galleon and the Fomorian engines. Instead of just going in to blow up the course by ourselves, it may now require a little bit more strategic planning. So that is one of the beautiful things we can already see about it. Added to that, we also have the flying giant Eidolon, which is in the works. DE spoke about this, they even showed this several dev streams ago, so this is one of the really exciting things. DE has talked about this, and it did raise a lot of concerns for a lot of people within the community as far as how do you fight or take down an Eidolon, which will be in flight for most of the entire duration, and we might even be able to use it to protect the construction crew if we do get started on the relay building that they talked about a few months ago. Now, on number 2, we have the cinematic quest. The new war is one of the most anticipated, and I'm sure by the end of this year everybody will be waiting for it as well. And while there are so many speculations about if the war will take place in the Origin system or if it is going to take place in the Tau system, one thing stands clear from a lot of players across the community: the Interceptor will be highly needed, and may even have to be supercharged with void energy to deal damage to the sentients, just like we did with the old war. We will be able to take the flight to the skies and battle the sentients among the stars. This won't be just another typical corridor battles we've always known and loved. It is possible that the new war quest will have some co-op segments within as well, and it will be a constant and always evolving event, just like the faction battles we have right now. In this way, if you are joining the game for the first time, you will still have people to help you with the co-op aspect or the co-op segment of that quest. Lastly, we are going to have the raid system. Now, I have said it in the past that DE almost perfected what a raid should be when they created the Jordan's Verdict raid. It was just a victim of bugs, because that is one of the things that made me hate that game mode back then. It was fun, it was constructive, it was really interesting to actually do it. Jordas was the only raid boss that felt immersive with the close encounter. Vahek not so much, because Vahek was always in the distance and never really brought out that feeling of fear after a few hours, and even when you confront Vahek, all he needs is few shots and he is down and you are ready to move on. DE removed all the raids because they want to rebuild it from the ground up. Raids are very difficult to maintain, they're very difficult to build, and it is something that actually had a lot of problem. They said the raids needed a major fix, or probably an overall rework in general. Raids were the hardcore content for a while within the game, and we've also had the Grenier raid, we've had the Infested raid, so in this case, it could be the beginning of a Corpus/Sentience raid. If you guys really paid attention to the Railjack demo, each action and the role for each crew member required a lot of teamwork and a lot of communication. Those are some of the things that we only saw during the raid system. It reminds me so much of what we experienced during the Jordan's Verdict raid, a situation where one half of the squad is outside and the second half is going to be inside. In a raid scenario, you can see one team solving the problems, and of course you will have another team boarding the Corpus Cruiser. They might be required to disable shields, shut down relays, eliminate weapon controls, expose the core so the outside team can target them, and with cruisers as big as the Corpus ships, chances are it is going to be running on multiple cores and multiple engines. We could end up starting some parts of the raid on Venus, then the second part will take us to the orbit, take us to the skies. This could be the multiple use that DE is talking about, and this is one of the things that I think will be really great if they actually perfect this. It is not just going to be a thing where only a select few or a select group of people are going to enjoy because it is stuck in a particular game mode. You can use it to travel to different missions if you are playing in public. You can use it for the next cinematic quest, and of course the ongoing sentient battles, and you can also use it for the upcoming raid system. So this is basically going to cover major uses of any ship within Warframe in general, and if it is executed perfectly by DE, this will be so amazing. But with that said, let me know what you guys think about the multiple uses for the Interceptor, the returns of raids to Warframe, the new war, the boss battles, and more in the future. To end this, I will say that this is highly influenced by conversations that we had during the podcast, and I cannot wait to see your responses as well. Overall, thanks for watching. Hope you guys like this video, and if you do, feel free to leave a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel for more content. And if you also choose, you can also support the channel financially through multiple mediums such as Patreon and PayPal. Thanks once again. I'll see you in the next one.
All right, so you need to coordinate the team. Meg's hit a barrier. Rebecca's got to go to tactical to disable it for her. Oh, first maybe use a little turret help.
They're on board. In the name of profit, cast them to oblivion.
These reinforcements are imminent. T-minus 2 minutes.
All this is happening at the same time. Right now, Meg looks out the window. She's gonna see Rebecca flying that ship with Danielle on the guns.
Until reinforcements arrive. We need to get out of here.
Ready my emergency skip. The boy still has plans for me.
Oh, target locked. It's time for the big gun. Full power to weapons.
This is it, operator.
Don't miss.